Pharisees went out and took counsel against him, how to destroy him. To destroy a person is the business of you-know-who. And we can be in that business ourselves if we are sharp in our words, taking away from that person's reputation out of jealousy and envy, wanting that person to be damaged, not to advance. It's all a part of the sin of the fallen angel. The Lord is discreet in his reaction. Jesus, aware of this, withdrew from there. Indeed, he gives that advice to the disciples at one point. If they're not received, they are to go out and shake off even the dust from their sandals as a testimony against them. So he withdrew, but those who are of good will do spontaneously come after him, and he can work with them. Many followed him, and he healed them all. In another place, he goes actually to his own local area, and he couldn't do many miracles there because of their hardness of heart, their unbelief. And ordered them, it says, not to make him known. The desire for attention is profound in the human soul, and there are many ways of getting it. One is to talk loudly, to talk a lot. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. Behold, my servant, whom I have chosen, my beloved, with whom my soul is well pleased. This dilectio, it comes more than once from heaven, the voice of the Father, my beloved. And what is the bond between Father and Son? It is the person, love personified, the Spirit, a cloud, a dove, a glory, and we are called to be in that circuit, not to have sharp edges. We cannot love God sincerely and cause pain to others. If we do, we're living an illusion. I will put my Spirit upon him. That Spirit we need, his Spirit, not our own. And he shall proclaim justice to the Gentiles. He will not wrangle or cry aloud. We would do well, before getting into a dysfunctional conversation, to resist the temptation and remember that word, wrangle. Oftentimes our conversations are on the wrangling level, and rather than serenely see where the true problem is, often a hardness of heart precisely, we go into that pitfall straight away and lose our own peace and expend vast amounts of badly employed energy. Or cry aloud. The Lord is dignified in his reactions. He is in complete control. If we start to lose control, press that volume button, make it higher and higher, then we are using volume to take the place of our inadequacy. The truth, well presented, should be sufficient. But if we are in front of a person who will not stop talking, there's no point in insisting. That person has a vocation, it seems, to teach the world. Nor will anyone hear his voice in the streets. When we raise our voice in such a way that everyone around us has to hear our conversation, even on the phone, there's something wrong. The word has far more power when it is well chosen, selected, and aimed perfectly than when it depends on decibels for its power. Nor will anyone hear his voice in the streets. He will not break a bruised reed or quench a smouldering wick. That was advice given in learning to hear confessions, not to quench that wick which is just about smouldering yet. La mèche qui fume encore. It was something which was precious and which I've never forgotten. For rather than talk down to a soul in confession or in counsel, one can talk up to that soul and see with respect the beauty that is still there in it. It will have a more powerful and positive effect. For there is a goodness in most souls that can be made to reignite. We do not push souls away. It's actually the principle of Pope Francis. Meet them where they're at. Otherwise, we come across as superior to them, and there's nothing worse than being taught down to.